My name is Lars Pank. I'm a local street artist. People call me an illustrator. I just call myself a storyteller with different languages. I'm gonna do this in English. I actually was preparing myself in Danish and also in another project which was about two Cambodian artists called PechaKucha and Lisa Mam. They were supposed to be here and we were preparing a long wall here in Karolinelunden together, but they're not here. Yeah. This is my paintings. From my last exhibition, it was from 4 months ago, and it was about storytelling. And this is my work, the most present work of my while continuing telling you about stories. When I was a little boy, I was rolling around in the big cities. I was from Aalborg in Copenhagen. It's a little bit island. Outside of Copenhagen, it's where Kastrup Lufthavn is. And every day I had to go to Copenhagen. I was taking the bus with my grandmother, and she used to tell me, "Oh, look over there, I lived over there, I had to work there," and I only saw this big, how you call it, facades, what? Yeah, facades, walls. I only saw the walls and the windows. I didn't quite understood that people was living inside of these walls. Because in Aalborg where I lived in a little house building, and all the big buildings were just, people were running out of them and running inside of them, and when she told me all these stories about her life, I was just starting to build my own stories. When I saw the people running around, I started connecting them to each other. So the woman here and the man here, they were engaged and they were having problems with their child, and they were going this way, and all the way in every time I was taking the bus, I was thinking these things. And when I grew older, I was drawing every day these stories. When I came home from the bus, I was drawing the same stories, and I had to tell them, like, it was not enough just to draw the stories and play with little dolls. I had to tell the stories because it might help somebody understand how to solve their problems, because I could see their problems very instantly when I was taking the bus. So later on, I attended to the animation workshop in Viborg, and I wanted to make animation videos and films, but it was too much work for one little story. It took like 2 years to make one story. I can make 10 stories at 1 minute. So I decided to paint my stories on the walls instead, outside. And and so on, and by the time people started noticing, and they actually how you call it, told me that they understood how I solved their problems. And people were like saying a lot of my work was making them happy when they were walking by, because there were only gray walls at the time I was not there. And then I came with a story, and they were like, I was passing away my knowledge to them. And they came home and they were passing my knowledge to whom they were talking to. So actually it was a story that rebuilt itself. And all of these stories was built out of what I saw, what I see every day on the bus, when I'm walking around the park. Every day, every time I'm painting something, it's strictly freestyle. I never do a sketch. I just, because all of the environment, all the inspiration are coming. And in the exhibition, I was actually painting the walls. Nothing of this art was for sale. It was only a project of being inside of a story. It was built in 2 rooms. One of the rooms was painted on the walls, and people know that it has to be painted white afterwards. And the next room was just graphic images like this one, small stories, very, very short novels. Actually, this one is called Utopia. Yeah. And the thing about Utopia and how do you call it? The title of the whole exhibition was called Storbystory, which means big city stories. And yeah, and big city is the daily routine for me, and the story is where I can play, where I can imagine, dream, and together Storbystory means my utopia, my playground, my everything, and I want to share it with you. So if can I say something more? In the next few days, I'm going to paint a big wall here outside alone, without the guys from Cambodia, but I'm gonna try to finish my project here. And also I'm going to paint with the beautiful Eric over there. We're gonna do a project together, and yeah.